Hey, I'm living out here in paradise. It's just great. I'm out here for a week and just enjoying it, but it's really hot. And I thought I would talk about heat. I got to survive out here, you know? One of the first things you got to consider in the sun, a good sun hat. I like the ones with mesh on the side. They kind of let more air in, but they do let a little sun in, and I'm pretty bald, so it lets some sun in, but it hasn't been a problem for me. That helps quite a bit. But it's still, you know, it's going to go up to the upper 80s, and then later in the week it's supposed to go into the high 90s. So keeping cool is a consideration. One thing I like in hot weather is a mister. It's just, I use it all around a trailer in the kitchen quite a bit, you know, to rinse off something, to wash my hands, or do a number of other things. But a couple of spritzes on the face and your head, and it will help cool you down, give you a nice refreshed feeling. Now, I always look to the ancients for advice, and what they did was, you know, they wore all natural fabrics. Synthetics stink in the heat. They're usually terrible, despite what the marketing people say. Cotton, prime choice. Believe it or not, wool is a good choice, but most people don't wear wool in the heat. But desert climates, natives like Bedouin herders and things out in the desert, they do wear wool. I'm not recommending it, I'm just saying cotton's pretty practical. The other thing is, when I'm active in the heat, and I do slow down a little bit, I acknowledge, you know, that it's hot out, you know, we're not a machine. I do wet my t-shirt, and the evaporation helps. I do this when I ride my bicycle in 90-degree weather too, 90 degrees and higher, and that helps quite a bit with the evaporative cooling. I wet my head, I'll wet my hat if that's needed. Try and find some shade. So for shade, I've got my my Alcove Shelter. The Alcove Shelter, I used to pool water up in here, and it was kind of unusable in heavy rain, but just a simple cord down here has solved that problem. Now I can use it in heavy rain, which is good. Not heavy wind, but heavy rain. I'm in this REI Alcove Shelter. It's several years old. They don't make it anymore, and I can see why. It's got a few issues. One is that water pools up here. This is a known issue when I bought it, but you got to empty it out every so often. And no matter how tight I set it up, it doesn't work. And a lot of people put bungee cords and stuff like that across the top to give it more structure. But I never felt the need for that, and I tried it. I should say I tried that, putting the bungee cords up here, but it didn't work all that good. On this loop, I put on these hooks. I love these hooks. I'll have links to stuff in the bottom. I use them for everything. Silicone rubber bands. I put 2 of them on there to give me a little stretch in the mason twine, and I have that staked out. Now the idea is to hopefully this will be smooth enough where it won't pool water. I did the same thing on the back. This is such a simple solution. It's amazing. I've had this for 5 years. I didn't think of it sooner. I was doing all this other crazy stuff. So, if you're wondering if these Dokio solar panels or the Jackeries can handle rain, well, I would say yes. They're doing pretty good out here. Always good to look for waterproof equipment. So, you know, the Alcove Shelter provides shade, which is a major ingredient that's needed. I can find shade around here under trees, but if you have to make your own shade, it's good to have something to sit under. So with all this solar power I've got, check this out, a kilowatt of power, 300 watt panels. I've got 2 of them, that's 600 watts, and 400 watt panels. I brought along a 12 volt portable fan, and if you're going into hot weather, I recommend it highly. The fan is being powered by a Jackery 300, which I have plugged into a Jackery 100 watt solar panel. But when I look at the display, the Jackery says it's accepting 59 watts, and the fan is drawing 21. So I have a net gain here. This thing is charging while I'm using it, which is great. That's exactly what I want. Now, that's a 100 watt solar panel. Why isn't this Jackery accepting more than 60 watts? It's simple. This particular model has a controller that throttles it to 60 watts to maintain long battery life. Pumping in 100 watts would age the batteries prematurely, and throttling it to 60 gives you better, longer life. So you may want to watch for that when you look at these no-name battery packs. You know, what are they doing? You need to understand it. So this, I did a pretty long comparison of this 12 volt fan with another 12 volt fan, and it's really good. I'll have that in the comments. I'll have a link to that. You know, it tells you the how much wattage is drawing and all this other stuff. So this 12-volt fan, you know, pretty small. It's enough for 1 or 2 people. If you have a bigger party than that, you know, you're going to have to think about another option. But it's pretty good. You can always get a big Jackery and put in and have an AC fan, a big AC fan. You know, I mean, I've got 1,000 watts of electric with me. I'm experimenting with it. I don't always carry that much, but 1,000 watts of solar panels is a lot to have fun with. I can do quite a bit. Corn popper's pulling 1,229 watts. It's important to use your energy wisely. Jackery 1500. One friend of mine was impressed with a rotisserie chicken maker, and I'm not sure if this comes close, but I like my popcorn. So this fan of course is multi-purpose. You know, one of the problem spots is when you're in your trailer. I see so many trailers that people buy that don't have adequate ventilation, and it's something you really want to think about if you're going out into hot weather. And you know, I just love ventilation in windows. I mean, that's why I have a Vistabule. It's probably one of the best ventilated and most windows of teardrops that I look at. Now, not everybody has a Vistabule or wants one or needs one, or, you know, you get yourself some hiker camper, I'd go for the second window. You get yourself a runway or something like that, I'd go for the second window and 2 doors. You can do a lot to get ventilation. I think 2 doors is a really good start for ventilation, and 2 windows is a good, you know, good thing to have. And of course, you know, a roof vent is a mandatory thing. But even with all that, you may not have enough. There's nothing like convection, you know, air blowing over your body, evaporating your perspiration. Always good to hydrate too. I have this on low. You're going high, you know, you might be concerned about noise. See that review I did on the fans, 12-volt fans, Cosmo Weems. You'll see in there that I did noise ratings with a noise meter and blah blah. You know, I did all of that stuff, the wattage, you know, the miles per hour, the wind is blowing, and you know, if you're concerned with all those details, it's in there. If you're not, it's $40 fan. Get it, plug it in, and be happy. I think in this trailer, this is a really good item on a really hot night. I was in a noisy campground in New Jersey, packed, a couple of years ago. It was like 95 degrees at night, and I had some people next to me, and I wanted privacy. They were really close. So I closed up my trailer and turned on the roof vent, and I opened the ventilation ports, and I ran the fan, and I was able to keep cool under those conditions and maintain privacy. But normally I would be ventilating everything. So let's take a look at the trailer, because the trailer, that's your refuge. You know, you're gonna have to spend some time in there. If it's very hot and raining, you're gonna be in there. Okay, 2 huge doors, great place to start. These are huge doors compared to a lot of teardrop trailers. I don't have bug netting for the doors, but you know, it's easy enough to work something out. All the windows are screened. I've also got the pass-through. Don't underestimate that. That allows air in here also. You know, I can slide it open or shut, and it has mosquito screening to keep that bugs out. So a lot of airflow in this trailer, more than other trailers I've seen. And you know, you don't have to have this trailer. You can get any trailer, but you should know what you're looking for. And you know, the hatch here provides a little shade. Now, refrigerator, electric refrigerator. Provides some cool drinks, keeps the food fresh, no ice, no problem. All in all, this trailer, I've had this trailer out in some pretty extreme conditions, and You know, they certainly had warm weather in mind when they made this. I mean, and views and stuff. They, you know, I think Bert Taylor did an exquisite job in design, and he keeps refining it too. So the top is insulated with a couple inches of that pink foam, and the front part and my tongue box here, that's where I keep all my tongues. That's all insulated with foam. But I can't say, you know, you would look at a metal trailer like this, metal and plywood, and you would say, you know, that's got to be a frying pan, you know. And I haven't experienced that myself. I'm pretty heat tolerant, but I haven't experienced this thing to be extra hot. For instance, if I want to take a nap during the day, I'll just pull down the shade, close off this window, leave the doors open, and I can, you know, nap in very hot weather. That's myself. Some people can't tolerate heat at all and must have air conditioning, and I understand that. But when you're off-grid as much as I am, air conditioning is not an option at all. It's raining outside. Ventilation's pretty important on a trailer if you're living in here. And, you know, I'm not saying I have the best or the greatest or whatever, but it's what I've got, and I'm going to talk about it. So the Vistabule has these big side windows, which are a kickstand window. You just push this out and it opens up, and you got really good ventilation. And it has these portholes, so you can open them up too. If it's not raining too hard, you know, you can have them open. These you can have open even if it's pouring. So I've got some on the other side. So this is 4 side windows, and I haven't seen another trailer that has this much ventilation. Okay, I'm sure they exist. I'm sure I don't know about it, but it's good. I also have these 2 ventilation ports here, and you know, don't underestimate these. These are great. You just squeeze it and tilt it down, and it opens up. And I have 2 of these, one on each side, so I get this bottom-up flow-through ventilation to the other ventilation point. So I've got the roof and the roof fan. That's a I forget what brand it is. Max fan, I think. Max something. And it won't let rain in under like 95% of the situations. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the other one's back there. 7 airflow ports in here, and they're working quite well. It's warm out. If this is not enough, I can turn on the roof fan, and that will draw in air from the outside. Well, the way I use it, I draw air in through these windows, and it starts drawing air in here. And yeah, I can feel a breeze coming in here. Not much coming in from the portholes, and not much coming in from there. Let me turn it up a little. This is 1 up from the bottom. At the lowest setting, that uses almost no electricity. It's just really, it'll go for a long time. Yeah, now I feel 1 notch up, I feel air from there, and I feel air from here. So, really good ventilation. Now, if this is not enough, and if the temperatures at night are above 85 degrees, I have a box fan, a 12-volt box fan. It's definitely not silent, but I could sleep with this background noise of the fan. After a pretty hefty winter, this is really light-duty camping. I'm spoiled here. I got a fan, music, shade. It's just really great to be out here. You know, I was going to stay home this week. I had stuff to do. I wanted to start a new exercise program intensively, and I'm so glad I came out here. During the week, there's nobody here. It's just very nice and quiet. You know, I have music going now, but I'll turn that off and just settle in later. At night, I can't photograph it, but all these trees all around me are all full of lightning bugs. I mean, it's a real light show. It's a 360 of lightning bugs. Complete circle everywhere I look, and there's thousands of them in there. So it's really just a magical place to just kind of chill out and enjoy nature. If you like everywhere else you go, you'll probably like it here. If you don't like anywhere else you go, you won't like it here either. A very important piece of gear in hot weather is, of course, the hat. I'm bald, and that's a survival piece. Hats are survival gear in almost any situation where there's extremes. So I'll lead off with a special purpose hat, and that would be a rain hat. I like my Outdoor Research Seattle sombrero. Is been with me since 1987, and this one, of course, I have updated the hat, but this model's been in existence for a long time. And compared to the first one, they lengthen behind the neck where rain drips off of you. And this is just a great option. You know, a hood is very good in the rain, but sometimes it gets hot, and this is a little cooler. And it just, if you want to wear a hat in the rain, it's hard to beat the Seattle sombrero, in my opinion. It's been around a long time, and it gets nothing but rave reviews. Very comfortable, lined, adjustable. It's got some great features. But for heat and sun, you really want to pick what you like. Now, this is a hat by Outdoor Research. I've had it for a long time. It's billed as a hot weather hat. It has mesh on the sides, and it has a full mesh lining. Now, I find that mesh a little uncomfortable, and I wear this a lot. I wear this hat, you know, more than any other hat, but in extreme hot weather, it's not one of my favorites. If it's all I've got, I'll certainly wear it. But all my hats, you know, if it's real hot, I'll wet them and wear them wet, and that helps cool me down. This hat is washable. Looks like it needs a washing. It's kind of faded too. It has a plastic bill, so you can wash this hat no problem. And this is another one, Outdoor Research. Got a little mesh, but it's fabric on the inside. I like this hat for hot weather, and it has this magic trick where you can fold it. The bill has hinged, and you can fold it, put it in your pocket, and it stuffs really well. It holds up pretty good. This one's pretty old. May upgrade it again soon, but it's a good investment. It has a reflective stripe on the side. Comfortable, nice hat. I bring this a lot. I have it in a couple of colors. Real good investment for just knocking around. This one, along the same lines, kind of, you know, it has some kind of a, you know, I don't know, different look, a little slightly different, shorter bill. Again, this hat has a hinged bill. You can fold it up, and you can stuff it in your pocket, which is a real handy thing for me. I do a lot of activities. Maybe I'll be out bicycle riding, and I'm going to stop for a while, take my helmet off, and I don't want to burn, so I put on a hat. And one of these small folding hats is a great solution for that. Now, for hot sun, like now, I've got several hats. You know, I have a bucket hat, which I like a lot. This hat is the pocket bucket. I didn't realize I had it with me. I put some critical gear in the trailer to take with me so I won't forget it in case I forget stuff. And this is one of them. It's a sun hat. It's a pocket bucket made by Outdoor Research. No longer made. I tried to buy more of them. I bought 2 of them. They're gonna have to last me a lifetime. So here's the Outdoor Research bucket hat. You know, it's a traditional bucket hat. It's pretty cool, you know, in hot weather. And it really holds up to use very well. I mean, it always looks worn out even when you first bought it, but it holds up really good. And all these wrinkles will come out of it if I have it out for a while. And you know, you soak this in some water, put it on your head. It'll make a big difference. For real hot weather, I want something with a wide brim, and you can go as wide as you want, you know, out to a sombrero. But these work for me. This has a mesh side, which I find to be much cooler than fabric sides. And it's a wide open mesh. This will let sun in. You can get a sunburn with this on this mesh parts. But it hasn't been a problem for me, and I don't mind the trade-off. Again, another Outdoor Research. I'll have this model in the comments. I'll have links to it because the Outdoor Research makes so many hats. The advantage of this hat is the brim. You can crush this hat. You know, it's a crusher. You can roll it up, stick it anywhere, take it out, and it's going to look about as good as it looks now when you take it out, which is, you know, whether you like that look or not, that's up to you, you know. But it works pretty good. It's a cool hat, and it's hot out now. I'm going to put it on right now. It's going up to 90 today. So this guy is a new addition. Not cheap, but it provides a lot of protection because of the way the brim comes down, almost like a pit helmet style. It has some kind of British colonial look to it, but that isn't why I bought it. I bought it for protection. And the disadvantage is you shouldn't crush this hat. If you can avoid it, you can, but it doesn't hold up well to crushing. It's got a stiff polyester bill. So when I crush it flat, you know, and try and let it, you know, I stick it in with some clothing and all. And it works pretty well. I'm going to compare these 2 hats a little later today. It's going to be in the 90s. I'm a big fan of these tubs because they're waterproof. What will happen is once you have the contents in here, will get quite hot in here. Yeah, you could test this with a thermometer. It gets quite hot in there because of the greenhouse effect. And I'm going to move these to the shade. But a word to the wise, if you have things in here that are temperature sensitive, then you're going to want to put these in the shade in really hot weather. So I'm going to move these tubs to the shade where they're going to feel a little more comfortable. Really good shade coverage in my opinion. I don't know if I can get back there. Can't see it. But really good shade coverage. I'm out in full sun now. It's 10:30. This is when the sun is pretty high, between now and 2 p.m. in the sky. And great solar charging time of day. So pretty happy with it. This is the outdoor research hat. It's equally comfortable. It's in fact a little tiny bit more comfortable. By that I mean it's a little lighter weight, and you know, it's temperature wise it seems about the same. I like them both. I'll wear them both. You know. Pretty good. I'm covered in the hat department. If I had to pick just one hat to bring, it might be this hat. Or that bucket hat for sure. That would be a secondary hat. So these are good for hot weather, in my opinion. You know, conditions vary. They're good here. They're good for me now. You may be in different situations.